What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage and we are back today with another video guide and playthrough here for the epic campaign here, being the Apocalypse Saga, more specifically Pestilence here, fully unlocking Morgan Le Fay's abilities now. We got the first difficulty one in my previous video unlocked. Now we're going to go ahead and show you guys the node playthrough for each of the nodes and difficulty 2. With that said, let's get started.
Here we go, time to get this party started. This is going to be a lot harder than what we've already seen previously, just because now these characters are built up and they have higher abilities and they're more to our level, right, with the G15. Obviously, if you have any characters that are tiered up to G16, it's going to be much better, but thankfully, I did this a few runs already, but you know, this time we actually started off with Morgan Le Fay's ultimate, which helps us a great deal. There are some key targets that we have to aim for, and that includes Sunfire. Just preventing him from using his abilities in the beginning is huge, right? So we're going to go ahead, activate Agatha Harkness ultimate as well now. And you just see the number of negative conditions getting inflicted. This is absolutely huge for us. Following that up with Scarlet Witch's ultimate there, just to extend it. It's going to buy us time, and now we're in a great position to actually just be able to get rolling here. Especially with these negative conditions around, helps us a great deal, and the disruptions and so forth, you know. The key one is going to be Morgan Le Fay's special again too, just to rewind everything. It's going to be absolutely devastating. So here we go. You know, keep the ability blocks on them. Everything's looking really, really good. Combine that second attack there, and yeah, pretty much there. That was perfect. That was textbook. Nothing going on there. Spider Woman's another one we have to take down. I don't like Dazzler, but another one is Phyla-Vell, just because she's got that cleanse coming. So definitely a character we have to focus on in this initial wave. Highly, highly recommend. And then afterwards, guys, it's just at this point weakening down the enemies you want to take down. So there's a couple I have in mind. Ghost Spider's one of them. Dazzler, Spider Woman. You know, they're all characters we have to focus for. Got some good, powerful abilities, right? And I do believe the next wave is spawning pretty soon here. So I think another 1 or 2 characters, and then we just have to be ready to go here. And it's going to have that combination. So this is a good time. I think this is a perfect time where all the negatives are around. We got a Heartless's ultimate there, and it can do some really devastating damage. So we combine that there. And let's see if we can get lucky here. Let's see if we can get lucky in finishing off Spider-Woman, because that'll be really good for us. And especially Ghost Spider still being ability block, so we don't want to focus on her just yet. But we're going to have that chance, don't get me wrong here. So Phantom X down as well, but now we're up against the Cloak and Dagger combination. So we know Cloak's ultimate is coming up here just because his energy is higher than Dagger's. But let's see what we can do here in terms of controlling that, right? It's going to take a little bit of luck, guys, because it did take me a couple tries here, but this run is looking pretty good. This run is looking pretty good in terms of live. And we're going to see if we can stun Dagger as well. So that works really well for us. I'm going to give us the special here for defense up. You never know when you can need that, especially when you're going through this. And now we're in a really good place. I think 12 enemies left, and we're in a good spot because taking down and controlling these key enemies is really honestly the key here. Managing these enemies that can turn the tides of battle, especially that combination of Cloak and Dagger. So we're going to go ahead there, just spread some more negatives. And yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get Cloak's not doing much anyway, so we can continue just doing our thing. Yeah, so this is definitely night and day from difficulty 1, because these guys are actually putting up a challenge in. If you're not careful, it can be a pretty devastating experience. There we go. And now I do believe this is the last of the clusters. So you know, key enemies, the Web Warriors are going to be built up. We got again that combination of Moondragon and Phyla-Vell being back for the Infinity Watch team. So that just teams that we have to be wary of, right? I'm going to try to just inflict some negatives all the way across here, but what's going to be pivotal is getting Morgan Le Fay back with her abilities and actually being able to have some ability blocks getting inflicted across these guys, because they got that almost the full synergy here of the Web Warriors mixed in with Black Bolt's damage. Very, very devastating here. So yeah, let's go ahead. This is a great time. A special here to rewind everything. And again, I just love how powerful Morgan Le Fay is. She's honestly a one-man show right now with all those abilities. We got the synergy of the Darkhold, but just making short work of these guys. And I think we're up. I think there's another Black Bolt that remains too. I think there's 2 more enemies after this, but let's go ahead and finish what we can. As you can see, you know, we're okay with leaving Black Bolt on the board because he hasn't even gotten his turn yet. And It's mainly because we're just so much faster with our team synergies here. We are now, however, up against another dagger, so we have to be mindful of that. I'm going to try to use the double striker on Scarlet Spider there, just because I see him creeping up with his turn meter, and just another good one that we can just finish off. It's going to help Heartless. His passive there, just getting the health back, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to stun dagger, putting us in a really good spot, especially now with the special. Going to extend that overall. And overall, yeah, this is pretty much a wrap, guys. At this point, if you can get here with none of your key characters going down before these devastating waves, clearing the cleansers like Phyla-Vell, we're in a really, really good spot. So, yeah, you can see how devastating the damage can be. But again, now with the reset here of Doctor Strange Heartless, his ultimate's absolutely devastating. We'll go ahead and finish Black Bolt. And pretty much smooth sailing at this point. Go ahead, heal up, and yeah, honestly, icing on the cake. We'll go ahead and finish off these guys. Yeah, definitely a lot harder. Harder than difficulty 1. I think you know, they scaled it well, but yeah, I'm lucky that at least my Morgan Le Fay, I think she's the only one that's G16. Everybody else is G15, but I'm lucky that my best character here, the best character for this team, is also my best character. So, and she's only going to get even more powerful following the unlock here of the Awakened ability. So, very, very looking forward to that, guys. Yeah, here we go. Wrap things up. That is node 1. Wow, so that was a lot. That was a lot to unpack in terms of difficulty. There we go. Good to go there. So now let's move on to the next node here. Let's see how things are. Let's see if we can go ahead and do it in live action and get it done. I do believe out of all those nodes too, when I did the difficulty 1 as well, it wasn't as difficult. But as well, like I don't recall if there was any specific node that really held me back. I think this one, the main pain point of this one was the Young Avengers synergy here, so we just have to be mindful of that. So let's go ahead. We're gonna reset. We're gonna try to take away some turn meter from Squirrel Girl, because the moment she does have her that she utilizes her cleanse, we're gonna be in trouble. So we're gonna do one thing here that we didn't do last time, which was actually stunning Squirrel Girl. And once you do that, we're in a good place, because these negatives are gonna stick around for a bit. I recommend focusing on her first. So let's take her down. Kate Bishop's another big one, just because she has all the supportive capabilities for the Young Avengers. But yeah, this team can be very, very devastating. You can see they're doing some really good damage on us, actually. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to reset this. And again, it's mainly because the pain point here is just really going through and getting through Squirrel Girl, just because she has so much support, right? Now at this point, a good place to actually start focusing on Kate Bishop. So I think I might actually save the ultimate there for Agatha Harkness, just because I see that these guys are already disabled enough as it is. We're going to use the heal there, apply some defense up, but we'll be in the clear once we take down Kate Bishop, and then we'll focus on magic, because the synergies of Echo with Miss Marvel is not a concern for us, just because they'll be losing their key players, right? Oh, darn. So did lose Wong there, so it'll be interesting. I think I can still do it without Wong, but let's go ahead and see. Let's see how this does. I think we'll be okay though. This specific node does have less characters too, so not a concern, whatsoever. So yeah, we see Magic's turn coming up. We're gonna go ahead, take away a little bit of turn meter there, and unfortunately that's not what we wanted with Phoenix activating her abilities, but that's okay, because again, guys, the key concern here is really taking down Magic first. That way Phoenix doesn't have 2 lives, right? Especially if she hasn't spawned Dark Phoenix yet, and that's really key here. So let's go ahead. That should be enough to take her down. And yeah, I'm getting pretty close here, actually. My sustain's gone with Wong's barrier not being present anymore. So just something to be mindful, guys. And as well, you can see there, well, at least we have the Invis though. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna stun X-23 just to get her out of the way. But now that we have Morgan Le Fay, let's go ahead. Let's sap some HP away. Maybe it makes more sense to actually, yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's spread that out a little bit. Let's go ahead and do that to Echo. Gonna get some HP back. I just love the healing capabilities there. Just how powerful Morgan Le Fay actually is. And then go ahead there. Get the assisted attacks once again. Yeah, the only thing I'm gonna be concerned about is just the supporting cast, because without Wong, they're a lot squishier, and they're not gonna have the tank that just soaks up damage, right? So that's something to be mindful of. I'm gonna just make my value here, my striker, making sure that counts on Adam Warlock. And thankfully, we haven't had anything going on yet with specifically Dark Phoenix. So that's good. We're in a good spot there. We're just kind of biding our time a little bit, waiting a bit. So yeah, now it's a good time as any, guys. We're in this position where it does make sense now to rewind. I do believe this is the last wave, so we're in a good spot. Especially since we can rewind that. Phoenix is now in play, but the good news is we are in a great position now to activate Morgan Le Fay's ultimate, and it's just going to be able to inflict some negative conditions. And as well, going ahead, let's finish off some of these guys in the left corner there. Billy Buck there. Okay, we're looking really good. We'll leave Adam Warlock. It doesn't do a lot of damage. He's squishy right now, but key damage dealers, especially the big one here. We got the healing reset here. Lieutenant's the big one I got to worry about, just because he can give some buffs to his team and kind of reset this round a little bit. So let's clear him out of the way. And then with these 4 here, we should be in a pretty good spot, guys. Adam Warlock's going to have that revive, but again, we're not worried about him. I think the main one is just taking down the damage dealers and making sure that we're aware of it. Applying the defense down thanks to Scarlet Witch. And now, this is kind of what I was waiting for. The defense down combination with Heartless's ultimate should do some really, really good damage here, taking out most of them. And now we can actually go ahead and finish off the damage dealers. Let's go ahead, stun Storm. You just never know what you can do with her charges. And yeah, pretty good spot, guys. The stun's there, buys us another turn of time. And then we'll go ahead now and focus again. Let's see if we can just take down Nebula. Perfect. And good position to be. Leaving Adam Warlock for the very end, not a big deal. Even despite the fact that we lost. Oh, wow, there we go. Losing 2 characters, but that's okay. Again, not the end of the world, because all it matters is going through it the first time here. You get the rewards anyways. So we're in a great spot, guys. 2 nodes down. Might have to just go for that 3-star going through it just to see it cleaner, but I mean, it is what it is. Let's go ahead here. Yeah, I don't believe we miss out on any awards just getting through it the one time. So yeah, let me know if I'm mistaken, guys. Maybe I'm missing something here, but if all it matters is that we get to the very end, I think at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if we're... Yeah, definitely with this node specifically, based on some RNG, guys, like this one, you do want to play it in a certain way almost, and it's unfortunate that we do have to kind of tailor a little bit of strategy to be very, very cookie cutter, but you'll see we have to start things off with the ultimate here, just to flip it. That way we can actually resume targeting who we need to target. And the Dad Brothers are definitely the priority of getting them out of this initial wave. So after you get that chance here, activating the ultimate here for Agatha Harkness, and just having all those negative conditions is huge. We want to keep spreading some vulnerables as well, so we'll go ahead and use Scarlet Witch there. And what I found from my experience is generally we're going to want to use our ultimate here, gaining the taunt, but unfortunately, it seemed to have failed us a couple times. So I'm going to go actually use the special here. We're not going to taunt just yet, because you're going to see Ghost Rider is going to do some work on us, and it's just nice that if they don't have to target Wong for the time, especially with the RNG, I've noticed that by doing so, Wong gets taken out in this initial wave. So I want to go ahead and avoid that. So that's why I went and did that. And now we're in a much better spot here. We're in a much better spot because now Wong is alive here in this initial wave. And we're going to go ahead and stun some of the damage dealers. And again, guys, now we're in a pretty good spot here in terms of all our characters being alive. And as well, now everyone is actually fully ready to go with their abilities, and we got a couple stuns on ability blocks as well, so they all have debuffs, and that really helps us a lot, especially when we need to take down the Dad Brothers. So you see how much devastating damage Ghost Rider actually does, but this time we're in a really good spot because we actually timed it really well with his abilities. And now at this point, we should have a chance to use Doctor Strange Heartless here, activating a devastating ultimate ability, and it's just gonna absolutely add some value in terms of what we want. Now we can use our Scarlet Witch's special there just to heal up. But again, our priority, guys, is taking down the Dad Brothers because they're the bulk of this damage here, and if they get going, it can be very, very dangerous. So I'm going to activate Morgan Le Fay's ultimate there. And keep in mind, we can only take down, I believe, 2 or 3 enemies before the next wave spawns. So that's why you do have to be quite strategic in terms of who you want to take down, because the moment you do, the next wave is going to spawn and you have to be ready to go. So far so good, guys. So far so good right now. We got plenty of barrier. Our abilities are good to go. And the Dad Brothers have already used the majority of their abilities, which is really good for us. Now we just have to work on finishing these guys down. Okay, so that looks good. And maybe at this point, I would start saving some of the abilities, right? Because we have to be ready also for the next wave. So that's why using key abilities like Agatha Harkness's ultimate, we're going to have to just be patient here. You'll see in the next turn as well. Sorry, not the next turn, the next wave. That it's just a very powerful wave that we're up against, and we don't play it correctly, especially with this supernatural team. They can work against us for sure. Okay, there we go. And at this point, yeah, even if you really want to just start kind of allocating some more damage, even just weakening them, you know, not a bad idea, because we know the next wave's coming. So this is actually not a bad idea, just to start kind of allocating accordingly. And then maybe just wait for one of these guys to drop. But the priority is going to definitely be Ghost Rider. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to see where we land with the special here. Hopefully it doesn't do too much. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, we're in a good spot. We're going to go ahead and activate the attack right there. Yeah, you can never know, because like Morgan Le Fay is just so powerful that you just don't know how much damage she's going to be doing, right? So yeah, we're in a good spot, guys. You definitely weaken them as much as possible, because you'll see why later. First of all, we're building up energy right now, and these guys don't do much damage whatsoever. And at this point, you really do just want to build up energy, right? Ghost Rider seems to be the weakest link right now. I'm going to go ahead, use the basic, finish him off, but you'll see here shortly, it should spawn the next wave right away. And if not, just make sure you're holding on those abilities, because it's coming. And once that does, like, it's going to get this last wave here, and we're in a really good spot, because by doing so, now we have most of our abilities ready to go. And the key one here, guys, is going to be Morbius. Morbius has some abilities here that can actually wipe our team. And that's kind of what I learned from just experience, guys. So make sure you target Morbius, and make sure you get him out of the way in terms of getting at least an ability block on him. The other one we want to control is going to be Rescue, because she has the cleanse. Ebony Maw, he's whatever. Like, he's got the defense up and the slowing and the regen, but he's not going to be doing much for us anyways. So we'll go ahead now. We'll keep extending these negative conditions. And again, guys, the focus will be Morbius. When you take down the damage dealers, and all that remains is the healers and tanks, we're going to be in a very, very good spot. So we'll just continue doing work there. We want all the assisted attacks going on Morbius, even with this devastating ultimate here from Doctor Strange. Once again, now let's just clean up this board here. Yeah, so again, apply everything at him, and if you need to, we can definitely stun him, but yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Actually, let's just buy a little bit of time here. Get the regen here, and then while we're buying this time, this is a great opportunity to take down Rescue then, because her cleanse should be coming right up soon, pretty soon here. So that's something we gotta be mindful of. And again, Ebony Maw doing his thing. Unfortunately, he's just not a priority for us, and especially since he had the immunity at the beginning. So you know, that's why we could have targeted him, but honestly, I don't know if it would have gotten as far. There we go. And yeah, at this point, again, guys, make sure we focus Morbius, because you'll see why later. You leave him around too long, he's gonna make you pay the price. So now we're almost pretty much resetting everything again. When you take this many turns with a powerful character like Morgan Le Fay, she's gonna get her abilities back, and it's gonna be GG. There we go. So yeah, definitely a lot. These nodes are definitely a lot harder and funner to deal with, especially in these higher difficulties. The G13 one, I was just going through it, as you guys saw the room recordings. Not an issue whatsoever. But at this point, once you follow that attack order, guys, you're gonna be in a really, really good spot. So yeah, these are always exciting. I definitely like this aspect. It gives me that Dark Dimension vibe where you do really have to kind of you know, follow the strategy and so forth. Yeah, and yeah, smooth sailing at this point. I'm just hitting it on auto, and we're just gonna go ahead and let things kind of fizzle out here, guys. But yeah, learning lessons again. Make sure you guys are focusing on the damage dealers, because especially in the beginning, if we focus too much on healers, that's kind of where you can get you know, a little bit pigeonholed in terms of, you know, zoning out and losing focus on what the game plan is potentially. So there we go. That is 3 notes down of this new difficulty here. So we'll just continue chugging along here, guys. Get this out of here, so that way you guys can follow us along. But with this guide, at least, you guys will have a really good sense of, you know, how to get through it, especially if you're fortunate enough to have all your guys ready to go here, G15. So yeah, next up, guys, you can see here, this is going to be another powerful wave that we're up against, all these mutants. I definitely think this one we're going to have challenges as well. We're going to have to change our strategy a little bit, again, in terms of controlling the key enemies. But the good news is everyone does have the same team, so you really do need to know what you're doing with these waves, because I think when Scopely was designing it too, they must have thought about the specific order in terms of how you can actually attempt this, right? So previously, I think I left Madeline Pryor previously and I focused on Lady Deathstrike just because it was a lower difficulty, but this is one we definitely got to be more mindful of. So we want to buy as much time as possible. Madeline Pryor is extremely powerful, so we're gonna go ahead. We are gonna use the ultimate here for Agatha Harkness. Doing some work, just applying that offense down and so forth. We're gonna extend this as well, but the focus is gonna be Lady Deathstrike, and as well, it's also gonna be Madeline Pryor. We're gonna take down both of them in tandem. Just because of the supportive capabilities. And again, I don't like Lady Deathstrike because she can be really hard to kill with the natural evasion she gets. And it'll be interesting. I'm going to try it first of all like this, guys, because I don't really know how this is going to turn out, especially since we're going to have a lot of damage dealers like the Sabertooth and Wolverine coming on board here. And they are going to be frustrating, especially if they're attacking us from the side when we're just trying to do our thing, right? What actually would help is, let me go ahead. I'm going to stun. I'm going to buy a little bit of time here. I'm going to stun that. Stun the LDS, and I'm gonna go ahead now and just kind of switch over here to Madeline Pryor just because she still has the ability block. Oh, never mind. So I guess, like, wow, she got out of that stun right away. So never mind. We're just gonna go ahead. We'll just finish her off if that's the case. It's just we do have time still with Madeline Pryor, so it's not a big deal. Good chance to activate the ultimate, get some charges on Doctor Strange Heartless. But wow, you can see what I'm saying. Like, that still was not able to finish off Lady Deathstrike. So that's why I think just taking her down as soon as you can, guys, because she can do a lot of devastating bleeds to us, and before long, those are all just going to stack up, and it can be very, very dangerous. So afterwards, right away, you're going to see here that we already get the next wave. So that's why it's important to take down someone like that crucially, especially at the beginning. But now, Morgan Le Fay's ultimate ability, absolutely love it, just spreading all those negatives, and we're in a really good spot because that landed exceptionally well. Mystique is another good one that we have to focus because if we leave her too long here, she's going to be doing some mind control against us. So thankfully, you know, we do have her ability block, so that's huge for us. So we'll go ahead. We got to generate a little bit more energy back, but thankfully, yeah, like I said, having Madeline Pryor disabled right now is really, really good for us. She's still doing the retaliation attack, so you know what? Let's go ahead and actually finish her off. Get her out of the way. There we go, and yeah, let's go ahead. Let's finish off Mystique. And like I said earlier, guys, there's just a lot of characters there's a lot of damage dealers right now, so this is gonna be a very messy attempt just because of all these damage dealers, right? And the mind controls aspect, like as you saw with Strife there, we gotta finish off Mystique before she gets her attack on us. And as well, like I said, maybe let's go ahead and take down Strife, just because he can taunt and stuff. There's another Strife that just joined the battle, but if you guys recall too, Jubilee is another one that's going to be dangerous because she has that combination here of Beast and Bishop just waiting too. So something to be mindful of, guys. Something to be mindful of. All these little hidden bombs, that, if you will, as we're progressing through this, right? So what's going to be really good for us? Let's go ahead. Let's use a special on Jubilee to stun her. That's worked really well for us. I want to take down a damager just because we're getting so many of these guys on the board here, and they're just loading up on damage, and we need to just kind of clean it up a little bit here. I'm okay with leaving Sabertooth. Yeah, perfect time now. We can go ahead. We can reset everything. Gosh, I love Morgan Le Fay, just really clutch in these modes, and the Darkhold team synergy we have going on for us is absolutely huge. So we can leave a lot of these damage dealers being weak even for the next wave, because what I'm thinking is once the next wave spawns, we can basically just do a massive cleanup, especially with all our AoE abilities here. So at this point, guys, yeah, activate, keep continuing using the sustain from Scarlet Witch. That's absolutely huge here. And we just got to go ahead and kind of shoulder the damage of having Silver Samurai alive for that long. And to be honest, like, even if you have disables on Silver Samurai, he can cleanse almost anything. So that's why I don't bother really just taking him down anyways, because of that capability he has. But you can see now in this wave here, we got a lot of these enemies at least kind of weakened up, so we're looking good. I don't like Strife because he has that mind control ability, so definitely something we gotta start working on him too. But it would be very good for us if we can just slowly chip away at almost every one of them, and then even if the next wave spawns, it's gonna put us in a really good spot, because they're all gonna be pretty weak, and for us to clean up and really just wipe the board up. Yeah, so you can just see right there, unfortunately, nothing we can do about that. He's got the taunt too, so that's what's going to be unfortunate for us. So this might even be a good time, actually. Using Morgan Le Fay's ultimate, it's going to be a good time to actually go ahead, flip that, but as well do some work. You know, would have been ideal to save that for the next wave, but our guys were getting a little weaker there. Yeah, so there you go. Going to go ahead there. I don't really want to stun him because he can cleanse everything anyways, but what's going to be nice if we can go ahead here and get some AoE attacks just to finish off the weaker ones on the board here like that. That would include Jubilee, but now that we have Bishop on the board here, Beast is coming up too, so we just got to be mindful of that. Let's see if we can go ahead here and finish off Strife. Would be nice just to get him out of the way before his next attack. So that's devastating right there. Definitely not something you want to happen with Bishop's attack there, right? So I don't know how we survived that without anyone falling. That was absolutely huge for us. And you know what? I am actually going to go ahead here and let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and use the ultimate. Just going to buy us a little bit more time. We're going to get out some little more negatives here, some debuffs. And this is actually a good time to use the ultimate, but I kind of want to wait for it because we know that the next wave is coming already. So at this point, it's really kind of just chipping away at them all, but the key target is going to be Bishop, just because he has that synergy with the Astonishing X-Men, and Jubilee's still alive too, right? So you might need a little bit of luck in RNG here in terms of how this actually kind of shakes out in terms of the setup, but we're getting a little picky here. So we may have to start just cleaning up this so that way the next wave does spawn and setting us up here, right? So, so far though, it still looks pretty good. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead, use the basic there. Gets healed up a little bit. You know, perfect timing with Scarlet Witch here. So let's go ahead, finish off a Jubilee. Should be spawning the rest of the last wave here now. And that sets us up for a very perfect opportunity here for the ultimate with Doctor Strange Heart. So you really have to think almost like 2 steps ahead because we kind of want to capitalize on almost everything here. Bang for buck, especially damage, right? You miss these attacks on these opportune moments and it could be night and day. So perfect. Now, good spot, guys. Now, let's see if we can go ahead. If we can get the stun on Beast, that's huge. And now let's go ahead and finish off Bishop. And it's going to leave us with a pretty good wave here in terms of what we are up against. So go ahead, reset everything. Morgan Le Fay, once again, coming in clutch. And yeah, very, very close, guys. Very, very close to needing everything we need. Madeline Pryor, not going to be an issue for us. Generally, she is against other teams, but we have the Darkhold synergy, which is so powerful. Let's start rewinding some of these characters. But yeah, this is a good first shot, guys. Like, this is actually the first time I actually attended this node, so I'm glad it was smoother than my other previous nodes. Nodes 1, Nodes 2, Nodes 3, they definitely had some pain points when I was going through it in recording, but thankfully it looking pretty good right now, guys. Go ahead, we're just going ahead here and just finishing off what we can. But at this point, if you're down to these enemies here, it's pretty much lock and loaded. You're good to go here. Like there likely won't be any kind of unexpected surprises with this last wave here. Taking down Beast because of the supportive capabilities he has, his sustain, and darn it, he's just a really tanky guy too. But thankfully as well, most of them are already ability blocked or debuffed, so we're in a pretty good spot. Wong isn't looking great right now, but it is what it is. You know, he's definitely, I think he's the lowest combat power on my team out of all the characters actually. So yeah, so I'm not surprised. He likely will fall. Oh, that's unfortunate. Agatha Harkness too, but that's okay. We still have our big 3 here. So we're still looking pretty good. Yeah, that's what I mean, guys. Definitely do not drop your guard here. I kind of did a little bit, just getting excited that I'm almost done, but it is what it is. We're going to go ahead, use Morgan Le Fay's ultimate once again. And maybe the issue potentially is leaving, food for thought, maybe potentially the issue is just leaving Silver Samurai for the very end there, but to be honest, like, you leave him there and he pretty much stood still for almost the entire duration of the battle too. So, you know, like, it's something I was comfortable in leaving. So maybe if you guys want to switch it up a little bit, but I was okay in leaving all these characters until the very end, especially the damage dealers, because the other ones just seem to do so much more impact against us, right? And again, thankfully, my 2 best characters is Doctor Strange Heartless and Morgan Le Fay, so they really did keep us in the battle here. Not the cleanest, but like I said, guys, hopefully this is able to at least give you some input and advice for Nodes 4 here. Especially, wow, we can just see the difference between how hard this one is compared to the last difficulty. So three allies still alive, 2 down, and that leaves now only for the last node here. Yeah, not what we wanted, but yeah, the 1 star does not change. It does not change, unfortunately, the difficulty. Excuse me, the reward. So we got that out of the way too, and yeah. Now, last but not least, guys, the unlock here of all the fragments that's actually going to be able to allow us here to fully awaken our Morgan Le Fay as a legendary.
Now guys, the beauty of video editing and going back and playing back is that you guys don't see everything that happens behind the scenes. But for this last node, it did actually take me getting it right over an hour of just the right RNG. You're going to see at the very beginning, we want Rogue to actually aim for either Wong or Morgan Le Fay, just because of the fact that it's such a powerful attack. You're going to see in this node, there's going to be a lot of RNG at the beginning. The only thing you can honestly do is use Agatha Harkness's ultimate, as well as Morgan Le Fay's ultimate at the very beginning here, and trying to extend that as much as possible, Scarlet Witch. But you'll see what I'm saying. If you guys have all your Darkhold actually gear tier 16, it's probably going to increase the odds here a little bit better. But my total team power was about 740k, and you'll see why this node becomes such an issue here. This team just starts unleashing all this damage, as you can see. Gambit going ahead, Sharon Carter, Captain Sam using his ultimate to actually be able to get the speed up for the team. We finally get a chance to use Morgan Le Fay's ultimate to actually apply an ability block in Sharon Carter, which is really good for us. But then you just see Rogue just doing absolutely amazing work here. Shang-Chi is very powerful in this node specifically as well, and you can already see like how low my team is right now in HP, right? So generally, if the RNG and the luck fell in your favor, then at this point, hopefully your team is alive. Finally, we get a chance to use Scarlet Witch to use her special to get some HP back. So if you made it to this point, and your team is the same as mine right now, then you have a fighting chance. If not, I would back out and try again, because the luck is just going to fall in factor. The moment you get to Morgan Le Fay special here, where you can actually rewind and start targeting characters like Shang-Chi and Gambit, that's where you can start telling that there's going to be a change in a battle scene here. So starting things off, we can finally talk about the attack order, because we were just focused on Rogue and not being able to do anything. We take down Shang-Chi first, and the other key target is Gambit. Unfortunately, the passive attacks actually took him down already, so that was huge. Another key target is going to be a Rogue, just because of how powerful she is, and we already saw at the very beginning how she was just the main tank and we couldn't do anything, right? And that's why this node is going to be luck based and RNG based, because if you guys can't get through that initial blast of attacks, it's easier just honestly to reset and restart. So at some point then, Captain Sam's going to taunt, as you see on screen here. And that's okay. We just have to, again, be mindful of the luck here, because again, even at this point, things could still go south. But now you should be able to kind of pivot a little bit and change your attacks. I recommend stunning Coulson, just because I found that Agent Coulson, as I was testing this out and playing, he had a devastating ability here just to wipe out especially any of our allies that are lower HP right now, like Agatha. At that point too, you're going to see that the next wave spawns, and this is where you got to be very careful, because at this point you should have Morgan Le Fay's ultimate, and her second ultimate should you should definitely save it just for the second wave. If you don't, it can be again another changing of the battle here. Main reason is because we can actually ability block Cersei, and that's going to give us a fighting chance here to kind of clean up all these little stragglers that are low on HP. But as well, the priority target in this wave has to be Phantom X. I've seen other posts on Reddit and other folks just mentioning that Phantom X's damage is extremely significant here in the second wave. So that's the main reason we kind of shift gears. Even though Wong and Captain Sam are low on HP, we don't want to take them down just yet, because there is another wave that's coming, and it includes Dazzler having that synergy with Phantom X. So that's why prioritize taking Phantom X down. We still have the ability blocks on Coulson and Cersei, and that's subsiding now. And now we're in a pretty good spot. Now we can actually do a little bit of damage and kind of allocate some DPS accordingly before the next wave spawns. And this is a great way to do that, just because even if the next wave spawns, then at least some of these guys are going to be lower on HP. I honestly would not worry about Adam Warlock, just because he's not really a concern, and he's just got some supportive stuns, bleeds here and there. So at this point, when the final wave does spawn, the good news is there's a couple of security guys here for shield. So good news is they're not going to be much of a threat. They're just going to get in the way with their taunts. But at the end of the day, I'll take them over characters like Cersei and Phantom X. But at this point, yeah, we're going to go ahead. We're going to try to reduce, apply slow on Dazzler. She's the other priority A target that we have to focus in this kill list. And then yeah, at this point you should be getting Morgan Le Fay special back the second time, and we should be able to rewind and focus in on the key targets. So having the ultimate once again, applying the ability block on both Cersei and Dazzler is just double clutch right there.
and you should be in pretty good hands at this point. If you're able to land Morgan Le Fay's ultimate, and also in being able to stun Calling Wing, you're in pretty good hands at this point. That you can rest assured you'll likely be able to get past this. So definitely hands down, node 5 was definitely the hardest node based on my attempts of all the different 5 nodes here. But on screen here it looks pretty straightforward, but I'm not lying, guys. It took me probably over 20-30 tries in the span of an hour plus just to get the right RNG. You'll see that you're just gonna wipe at the beginning, and that's why you'll see that there's likely probably gonna be some posts on it on Reddit if there isn't already. So I'm glad this video is at least out, so if you guys are able to catch this and use this to help push you through your progress, at least you I got it on screen now and you can actually use this. So this is going to be the unlock here of Morgan Le Fay's special abilities now, because this is her awakened state, right? So I am gonna actually go through and show you guys too my roster, because I feel like a lot of folks will likely need a reference point. So it's not something I showed in my previous videos, but really good to have just in case you guys wanted to see how strong my characters were when I went through it, and then that way you can see what you need to work on. But again, I really think that the RNG and luck is going to be a big factor, guys, and you'll likely have a 4 on Agatha and Wong as well. So here you go, all the upgrades. Feel free to pause and just take a look at them. The only 2 characters I have G16 is Agatha Harkness and Morgan Le Fay. And then everybody else is gear tier 15. So some of them not even maxed out with T4s, as you can see. But yeah, even if I go back here now, you guys can see Morgan Le Fay's abilities were previously maxed, but now with the unlock of difficulty 2, we get these newfound Horsemen abilities. So really cool stuff, guys. I hope this gameplay is able to help you guys push through in each node. Hopefully give you some perspective in the attack order and battle priority. But good luck, guys. Thank you as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one.